Hey, how's it all going out there in YouTube land? And yeah, welcome back to part 2 of the old making a pig sticker, which I've never done before. So I'm trying to make, let's have a look in here. If this is the first one you're watching, get on there. This old beastie here, which has in its day stuck a pig or two and done the business really, really well. So what I'm trying to do is get a hybrid between that, something sort of maybe like that, and this old sword thing I made up here. I don't know what that is, but there it is. So this is what I've come up with. Got my basic profile roughed out, give it a bit of a surface grind as it were, as you can see in part 1, giving it a harden and a temper. So now I'm going to go and try and put some scalloped bevels on it. So I've got some basic layout lines here. I'm going to try and scallop down here and some little bit at the top. So try and keep this end a bit, quite a heap of metal in there, try and keep it so the point don't snap, all that sort of stuff, and carry on. And yeah, not 100% confident with the old scallop grinding, but yeah, you've got to do it to learn, yeah? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to give it a go. I was going to use this, which I made up for my platen, for the old concave, I think you'd call it, grind, bevel. But that gets too hot, far too hot. That metal gets like red hot, which in turn sort of makes the belts break and so forth and so on, so I don't use that. So what I've gone and done, which you'll see, is I'll set up the old 8-inch contact wheel and we'll give that a go at doing the bevels and see how far we can get with this one here. Yeah, so without too much more jibber jabber, I'm not really that confident, like I said, but yeah, like I said, you got to do to learn. So if I get it wrong, I'll cut another profile and keep going until I run out of leaf spring. So let's give it a go, see what we can come up with, eh? Either way, we'll get something. So let's do it. Let's go. Yeah, so I did say I had the 8-inch contact wheel set up in here for the hollow grind, is the words that were eluding me. But I've had another idea. I took my hollow grind platen and I've actually cut the excess off, so the belt on here will be running on air on top and bottom, plenty of air in there, and so hopefully there's a lot less surface area there. I've polished that off as best I can, and I'll run my VFD or my machine at about half speed. So I only want a subtle hollow grind. I don't want too much, and I think the 8-inch would be too much, but yeah, there's still quite a bit there. Yeah? Anyway, that's another idea. I'll give this a go, see if this will work. This piece here, thing here, is just solely, as I've said in other videos, normally my bevel grinding's all done freehand, but I use this to rest. So just to rest my hands on to get a bit more solid, as it were. So yeah, if it doesn't heat up, we'll give that a go, yeah. So yeah, here's the situation. This is what we're looking at here. I could not get that hollow grind to work really. That platinum modified just got way too hot. So I've gone back to a flat grind, and it's actually got a bit of convex on there. And yeah, also I don't know how much of that grinding you saw because yeah, having a few problems with that camera, but that's another story too. You can't win them all, and also due to the fact that I was getting a bit tied up with it, and my bevel grinding of late has not been ideal, I would say. But anyway, this is what we got, the best I can do. So I put this one on here. These I'll tidy up. I think I've got them reasonably in the middle, if you can see that. That's not too bad. I've still got a heap of meat out here in the point, so it's sort of like a spear, I guess you'd say. This is possibly getting a little bit too fine. I could round it off, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to live with that. This one here is sort of in the middle, good enough for me. I did say I was going to explain why I put that in there, but I'll do that when I put the guard and everything on. I like to use a knife here. I don't know why, but for some reason when I hold these knives, I tend to put my finger under here like that and put the guard in the middle. Thumb goes onto those grooves, and I just don't want to, yeah, that's why I don't normally sharpen that piece just there. I sharpen all the rest. I don't sharpen there just in case my finger slips off. I don't know. Just a personal thing. That's how I hold them a lot of times. So same thing here. I just got a little bit of leeway there. So that's all good. We put that in there, and we put that in there. Would I use it to stick a pig? Yeah, probably would. I've got a little bit thin there, but that's all good. Again, all this stuff here, about 7 hours of hand sanding, I would imagine, and I'll get that all cleaned up. And from there, we will stick on that brass guard if I can find it. I've actually got some interesting purple wood here that I'm going to stick on. I don't know what this is, but it's the last knife I put it on. When you sand it, it goes brown like this, and then you leave it in the air for a while and it goes back purple. So there you go, fascinating stuff. So from there we'll blaze on, we'll move on. So time for an epic hand sand. Get that cleaned up. It's a bit of pitting and stuff on here because it's old used spring steel, but that's life, just adds character. We'll get that done, we'll fit the guard and put a handle on, and hopefully we can get it done in this session. Otherwise, we'll have a part 3. So there we go, moving forward, let's go. So there's a hand sanding done, probably about 4 hours to be fair. A little bit of pitting in here and all the rest of it, so it didn't go too extreme. But that's just, like I said, that's life and that's how it is. I'm happy with it so far. So what I'm going to do now is do the bolster, or whatever you call this, the guard actually, whatever it is. That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to mark the middle. What I could have done in hindsight is just put a little bit of a land on here, reduce that size a little bit, but I didn't. That's quite often what I'll do, and what I also do is notch it there so it fits up onto something. But I haven't done that, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill it out. I'm going to slide it up. Hopefully that's the widest part of the blade. It should be. And I'm going to fit it as tight as I can, and I'm going to solder it on. So that's what we're up to. I'm just going to mark the middle of this. If I can find it, there it is. So I'll mark this up. I'm not sure exactly about the shape it's going to be. What I'll normally do is put that there. I'll measure this to get a rough idea of how far out it goes naturally. And that'll be 15 because it's about 30-ish. Marker's not working particularly well, but never mind. And I'll mark the centre. And we'll put some marks on there. We'll centre punch that and we'll go drill it. And then it's just a matter of quite a bit of filing and fitting and filing and fitting, and you get the picture. So let's go and drill that and see how we go. So that's had a bit of a file up, got it to fit reasonably well. Because there's handle going on the inside of that, you can taper these a little bit, but yeah, hopefully it fits all right. And I'm going to give it a bit of a test up on there with my little tool here for bashing it. See how we go, eh? Right. A wee bit more filing and that'll be good. It's all nice and square. Got a scribe line on there I'm going down to. That's just catching a wee bit. I'll take that off, it'll see where it's catching, and I'll give it a bit more of a file up and we'll carry on, yeah? Yeah, I didn't have the audio on in, so you probably didn't hear a lot, but yeah, I've cleaned that up. Going to stick her on, solder up now. You've seen it go on, so I don't know if that's top bottom anymore, but it doesn't matter. It's a bit sticky there. Oh, and then it goes on. Oh, no, it doesn't. So I use these soft jaws as a bit of a heat sink. If I can get it in the right place, so I don't get too much heat in the bag there. Just got to get it in the right place, that's all. Not too bad. And I want to make sure it's right angle. Don't do that. And reasonably square, yeah. Yeah, good enough for this cowboy. On there. Nice. Right, back at you in a minute with the solder, yeah? You might think, being a sheedy by trade, I'd have done a bit of soldering in my day, but to be honest, I can't ever remember doing it on a job. In the last 40 years, I think I've done it twice. So we'll give it a go and see what comes up. All right, that'll do. Let that cool down. We'll have a look at the other side. And then we will fit the handle. Yep, that should hold it anyway. It ain't coming off in a hurry. Bit of epoxy on the handle and all the rest, and we should be good to go. So there we go, we're getting there. Yeah, what you just see me doing is roughing out this guard here. And as with most of my knives that I'm making here, they progress as I go. I've got an image in my mind which doesn't always work out quite the same. What I'm trying to do there, I don't want a massive amount of guard hanging out. I just want the minimal. Remembering it is meant to be a pig sticker, so you'd definitely be potential when you're stabbing it into something for your fingers to run up there, but I just want that to stop that, as you would imagine. And so there we are. I'm going to call it there. So the video doesn't get too long. We're going to call this part 2. And from here, what we've got to do, we're getting our scales going, which is good. I've soldered that on. It doesn't, if you can see that, it looks not too bad. I have cleaned it up, so that's all good. I've got my pins, which I've annealed. So from here, what we're going to do, sometimes I'll pin those in, but I think I'm just going to epoxy the handle on and shape up the handle and finish it off in the next video. So you can look forward to that. Room for improvement probably is. There's enough room there for the finger. Handle's probably a little bit longer than I thought, but it is what it is, a prototype knife. In the future, I may put a lanyard hole in there. I could do it now, but I can't be bothered. So, yeah, there we go. So we'll trim the excess there, glue it on, and that's what you'll see in the next video. So from here, we'll do an outro. We'll call it a day, and yeah, all good. So there you go. That's part 2. We'll call it there. Call it a day. It's another beautiful day here in paradise. And yeah, making the old pig sticker, as you've seen. We're getting there. We're getting some progress done. We put the bevels on, as you would have seen in the first one, or not. And put the guard on, and we'll do a bit of shaping. So from here, part 3, get the scales on. Just give it a general tidy up. And yeah, and we'll have a look at the final product, no doubt, when we get there. So that's good. I'm happy with it so far. Of course, there's always room for improvement. Like I said, or might not have said, might put a lanyard on the next one, but I'm not a great lanyard fan, as it were. The design is how I'm wanting it to be. I tend to, like I've said before, put my finger over the guard when I'm using knives like that. Naturally, I'll shape it up and make it a bit more comfortable, and that guard should hold you from slipping forward and cutting your finger. So without making the video too long, here we go. That's it. Part 2 done and dusted. Wrap it up, and you can look forward to part 3, or yeah, no worries. So thanks for coming along. Thanks for watching. Hope you're enjoying your day and everything you do. And yeah, that's that.